EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with their outlook for August 26th, 2020. Well, we had a cold front come through yesterday, and that has changed the fate of our weather here for today, which is going to lead to a very nice day because we're going to have not only mostly sunny skies, but we have a trough that is settling in south of that south of that cold front with it off to the south here, and it gets the cooler temperatures in here today. So we'll have temperatures kind of like right around 80-ish or thereabout. For highs, and we'll have low humidity, which will feel really nice compared to what we had yesterday, which was very hot and humid. We did have the cold front come through during the afternoon hours, and we argued a little bit that there was an appreciable lack of forcing in this area, with a lot of the best forcing taking place over New England, another section down here, and in the middle where we were, stuck in the middle here, clowns to the left and jokers on the right? Stuck in the middle here is the was a lot of sinking air, a lot of dry mid-level air, and it just didn't look to me like there was going to be a big amount of severe weather yesterday. We went with the idea that it would be isolated, and that actually worked out. So we had, even despite having numerous severe thunderstorm watches, and multiple, in fact, that were extended and doubled down on yesterday by the Storm Prediction Center. It looked like, the idea that was going to be minimal threat to our area with just a few isolated cases, northern New Jersey and across the southern part of the Delmarva here, had a few reports of wind damage, but overall, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't really that big of a deal yesterday for the majority of our region. So that's behind us now, and the same frontal boundary that came through yesterday is off to our south today. Will return back northward as a warm front tonight. Okay, it's going to be dragged by, there's going to be a warm front moving through. Could be touching off a shower overnight. I wouldn't get excited about this. Just an isolated shower in a few spots, mainly the northern areas. And the NAM, which I'll show you in a second, has that very little activity as well. And then on Thursday, some people have asked me about that. Well, you guys went head-to-head against the Storm Prediction Center and were correct. What do you think about Thursday? They have a slight risk, or at least at the time that the video was recorded, they had a slight risk for the northern two-thirds of our area. Actually went down pretty far south. I don't agree with that. I think it's going to be stuck across. The best forcing in EML is going to be nearest the frontal boundary across New York State. So there could be some severe weather across there. I don't think we're going to have most of our area will get into that any severe weather or even storms, period, on Thursday. I think Thursday is a dry day for most of us, except for maybe right along the Pennsylvania-New York border. The counties closest to that. So Bradford, Tioga, Susquehanna, maybe Wayne. There's some areas right along the New York-Pennsylvania border, those counties specifically, that could get into some thunderstorm activity. Not necessarily severe, but at least some activity on Thursday. Okay, so we'll get to this in a second. This, of course, is Laura that's going to be making landfall. But here's the NAM high-res future simulated radar, and this is for overnight tonight. And again, this warm front is going to be pushing off the north, and maybe just a few showers or a storm very far northern areas overnight tonight, and that's pretty much it. Maybe gets into northern New Jersey as well. And the next that front is safely off to the north here on Thursday, and all the scattered thunderstorm activity is going to be to our north across the mainly New York State here, from the Buffalo area all the way over into the eastern part of the state, and actually into parts of the western parts of New England as well. Our area here should be high and dry. As we get very late in the day before sunset, some of these storms are going to try to come for a little bit further south and may get, in a weakened state, get to just across the New York-Pennsylvania border to these border counties in far northern Pennsylvania. But after that point, nothing. Okay, so Thursday, as you'll see in our local forecast, we have a dry forecast here, and the same thing goes here for Friday. Friday, I think, is going to be dry as well. As we have, here's the look at Friday. Doesn't look like there's anything here in our area either, so another partly cloudy, very warm day. So today's going to go from low humidity, temperatures near 80, thereabout, low humidity, and then we go back to 90 or so over the next couple of days for both Thursday and Friday, and mostly sun, okay? So we're not dealing with, storms and rain and all that stuff. It will be warm and humid, and then until we get this cold front coming through on Saturday, that's going to pick up Laura and send it almost due east. And I think the scattered showers and thunderstorms will hold off until very late in the day here on Saturday, it looks like. And if Laura wasn't here, which is going to remain pretty far south, if Laura wasn't here, it would be, still producing scattered showers and thunderstorms, and maybe some stronger storms because of the fact that you on the other side of this front you have some very cool air relative to the air on this side of the front ahead of it. So again, Thursday, Friday, very warm, hot here, sticky. Other side of the front, low humidity and pleasant. Okay, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of next week are going to be temperatures in the 70s, 78-ish to near 80 maybe. So very nice, low humidity. That's coming in after that. That's a trough. So, but Laura is going to be here. So the question just remains, how much of this influence does it have on these storms here? And if it does, it's not going to do anything with severe weather. I think it's just going to enhance the rainfall. So the precipitable water values will be increased a little bit. So you could get some heavier rain with some of these storms coming through. But this is relatively quick moving. This comes through overnight for a few hours during the overnight hours here, overnight Saturday night. But Sunday morning, it's gone. All right. And we're back to mostly sunny skies Sunday, Monday, and then partly cloudy Tuesday. All right. Now, backing this up a little bit. This is where the landfall point is here on the European model. It's somewhere between Houston and Lake Charles, Louisiana. So Beaumont's in the middle. Actually, this is the 12Z run that took it right over to near Beaumont, okay? Which is right in between. Just Houston's right by, hard to see here. Let me get a close up here. All right, so Houston, this is Galveston Bay, okay? And Houston is right on the western side of this. This grand area here is all Houston. All right, so the latest short-range stuff is starting to take this a little bit further east with a landfall near Lake Charles, which is just not right on the coast, but it's just right here near Lake Charles, or just south of there, the coastal region south of there. Okay, Beaumont's right here. Here's Port Arthur. So most of the models are taken near the Louisiana-Texas border, but pushing it a little bit further east away from Houston, which is good news for that area. But it does take it in with a pretty strong impacts as a major hurricane, Category 3, maybe even 4, when it makes landfall here. If this doesn't go through an eye-wall replacement cycle, this might be a 4 by the time it makes landfall. And by the time you're watching this video, if you're watching it on Wednesday morning, it could already be a 2 by then. We'll see. And here's a look at what it looks like here on satellite. Very healthy. Rapid intensification ongoing with some very strong inner core here starting to develop here. It won't be long before we get a nice, well-defined eye with this thing as it makes its way up toward this general vicinity. And again, the latest models are starting to push this a little closer to Lake Charles, which is right about here and away from Texas. And the western side of these storms actually have less impacts than the eastern side does, or the northeastern quadrant does. So I think the worst impacts are going to be felt between probably Lake Charles and Lafayette if it does, in fact, take that path here. But we'll get into that here over the next couple of days. Again, the landfall important is not as important for our area. It's what it does afterwards, and we're going to watch what this does after it comes on land. It is going to be picked up by this trough and sent due east, and then eventually merges with it. And you'll see it goes from a tropical to a post-tropical depression and then a post-tropical storm. It actually intensifies as it heads up into the Canadian Maritimes because of the fact that it's interacting with that front at that point. So I think we're just going to have scattered showers and thunderstorms here come through on Saturday. We would have had that regardless whether Laura was there or not. It's just a matter of, does this rainfall get increased a little bit with higher precipitable water content because of Laura being in close proximity across Virginia? It's possible. Just increased rainfall amounts. But this is not, we're not talking about 4, 5, 6, 7 inches of rain here. We're talking about storms that can produce, instead of just like the normal half-inch to an inch, it might be in a 1 to 2 inch type thing until this front completely moves through. We'll identify that throughout the week and continue to follow it. But right now, we're just in tracking stage and seeing where this goes. But everything's kind of consistent here. That it's just going to be staying south of the region and just maybe some enhancement with some of those thunderstorms as far as rainfall amounts goes, quantity of rain. Again, nothing crazy. This is not another Faye or Isaias type deal here, but and no direct impacts. But we do think the cold front might be enhanced a little bit with some rainfall. We will reevaluate that throughout the week leading up to it. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for August 26, 2020. Have a great Wednesday.